In this moment in history, our world meets both immense challenges and scintillating opportunities for social change. As polluters rage on in the destruction of our climate and communities, people worldwide migrate from their homes, taking history into their own hands by attempting to improve their lives and the lives of the people around them. Meanwhile, militarized borders prop up and anti-immigrant campaigns close in, aiming to shape our future around walls and closed-off communities. Our history and my analysis tells us that the only way we will achieve an alternative to this future, a vision of social justice, is by building power in our communities. My name is Elea Ziegelbaum. I'm a budding scholar and community organizer co-enrolled in the Social Justice and Community Organizing Master's program at Prescott College. And this May, I will be graduating with my undergraduate degree in Cultural and Regional Studies. On a school trip when I was 16 years old, I spent a week in the borderlands learning some of the harsh truths of the U.S. immigration system. This experience altered the course of my life. I knew then that the rest of my life would be dedicated to change-making, to organizing for justice. What brought me to this realization was knowing that on a moral, spiritual, and human level, I could not carry on living without doing everything I could to make change. Because though I was witnessing injustice that I do not directly experience, I knew that the people living it were mi otro yo, my other me, and that there was no other way to move forth in the world than by living through solidarity and love. My commitment to social justice brought me to Prescott College. I knew this would be the place where I would deepen my understanding of the problems in the world and continue to take action to change them. The rich learning and experience I have engaged in at this college have cultivated my capabilities as an organizer and a critical thinker. But what has been most important to me has been my ability to tangibly create social change, which is why I helped with the formation of a local organization called Keep Prescott Together, which I currently organize with and plan to stay in Prescott beyond my graduation to scale up. 2 years ago, a small but dedicated group of community members and Prescott College students co-founded Keep Prescott Together, an organization committed to empowering the Latinx community of Yavapai County. Keep Prescott Together formed out of the realization that our communities in Yavapai County deserve better than the reality we face, and that we could organize with those around us to transform our lives. When we first began Keep Prescott Together, we asked ourselves, what are the first concrete steps we can take in making Yavapai County safe and welcoming for all families? We quickly came upon the 287G program. 287G is a program that deputizes local police as immigration enforcement, even though immigration enforcement lies within the jurisdiction of the federal government. So let's say, for example, someone has a broken taillight and is pulled over. Through 287G, the police are required to ask this person for their papers and transfer them to ICE for arrest and detention if they determine that the person is undocumented. 287G exists in less than 90 jurisdictions nationwide and has been taken to court on multiple occasions challenging the legality of the program. It has existed in Yavapai County for the past 10 years and has resulted in the arrest and deportation of hundreds. With all of this in consideration, in May of 2019, I decided that for my senior project, I would conduct research to see how the 287G program in Yavapai County works and what it would take for us to end it. My research project was multifaceted. I conducted interviews with law enforcement, elected officials, and members of our community. I gathered a research team to work out power mapping and strategic planning exercises to determine where power lies in local governance and civil society structures. I spent countless summer afternoons doing deep investigations of government archives. And I also consulted with other organizers across the US who had or were launching campaigns against 287G in their localities. The final product of my research culminated into a 96-page campaign guide detailing the history and impact of the 287G program in Yavapai County, as well as a potential path forward to organize a campaign to end the program. Upon the completion of my project, we came to a sobering conclusion. We would not and we could not win a campaign against 287G at this time. The conclusion to my senior project was such that until we built power, we would not win on any immigration-related issue in Yavapai County. This is because in this political moment, our country is not welcoming to all people, regardless of where they were born or the color of their skin. The upswell of anti-immigrant sentiment and policy in the US and our world has created an environment that is dually difficult to organize in due to the deeply entrenched, very powerful forces up against us, creating fear and lack of political voice from progressive and marginalized people. This is why, for the past 7 months since we first came to this conclusion, we have been carrying out the challenging work of building power in our community. Building power is the process of creating the capacity to take action of a community. It's the hard, unsexy work of organizing people to take action to improve the material conditions of their lives. It's creating cooperation, founding coalitions, and eventually pressuring decision makers to mirror our values. The process of building power is what legendary civil rights organizer Ella Baker calls spadework, as in the hard work gardening preparing soil for seeds for the next season. It's hard work, but it's what makes it possible for the garden to grow. What building power has looked like for Keep Prescott Together has been to formulate a long-haul vision of establishing an institution that amplifies the voices of those who have been marginalized in Yavapai County. This plan is gradual and painstaking in effort and requires marshaling resources, hiring staff, and growing members of our community's capacities to be organizers and leaders. This work of building power does not exist in a vacuum. Social movements of the past show us that when we take the time and effort to expand consciousness in our communities, when we develop new leaders, and when we learn from history, we win. Take, for example, the work of organizers in the civil rights movement. Now everyone knows the beautiful speech of Dr. Martin Luther King, but what we don't always remember is the tireless organizing of thousands taking place with and around Dr. King to advance the civil rights movement. Organizers like Ella Baker, Bayard Rustin, and Fannie Lou Hamer were arguably the foundations for the movement to thrive. These three spent years training ordinary people to be leaders and organizers, planning regional community meetings to develop consciousness, and constantly attuning to the methods, groups, and people who could help further messages of justice. It is this critical building of power that is often left out of the public spotlight, which has made possible movements of the past. And it is this same critical work that will also make possible our contemporary movements for a better future today. Now, what I imagine when I think of a Yavapai County where we have successfully built this community power is a vision that grounds me in a deep sense of joy and purpose. Keep Prescott Together has already come so incredibly far. From first beginning as an exuberant idea articulated in the back of a Prescott College van on a 2018 Border Studies course, to now being more and more firmly established into the fabric of everyday life here in Yavapai County. Among other things, Keep Prescott Together has held 8 legal clinics assisting members of our community with immigration-related legal services. We have supported 5 families enduring the detention or deportation of a loved one. And we've canvassed dozens of houses in the height of the ICE raids last summer to remind our community of their rights. But we also know that we can do so much more. We could establish an office space to welcome and host our community. We could hire full-time staff to adequately support families going through the traumatic events of detention and deportation. We could plan, execute, and win campaigns to end devastating immigration policies like 287G. We could participate in the wholesale transformation of this place. Every dream that we have for a world that is just, welcoming, and safe depends on us forging a strong movement. We, ordinary people, actively shape history. Whether we know it or not, it is our daily actions that help with the preservation or the upending of the status quo. So whether you're quarantined at home or at work providing for your family, whether you're watching from around town or from the other end of the country, today you have an opportunity to join Keep Prescott Together in shaping history. As Keep Prescott Together brings its work to this next level, we need your help. We know that the only way we're going to build power in Yavapai County is if we have sufficient financial resources. So here's what I'm asking. I need you to donate to Keep Prescott Together. I know that money is tight for some of us right now, but if everybody who's watching this just donates $20 at the link below, we will be able to reach our next phase in organizing and supporting our community. I also need you to do one more thing. Share this donation link with 10 of your friends on email or social media. Tell them how important it is for us to scale up our movements right now and encourage them to donate, even if it's just $5. In joining us to support Keep Prescott Together, you are bringing a vision of a just future in Yavapai County one step closer to being reality. In this crucial election year saddled with the largest global pandemic in a century and an economic recession of the likes of the Great Depression, we know that it is our duty to scale our movements up. Now more than ever, we have seen the lengths to which this social system will take to devalue human life, the lives of our loved ones, for the sake of money and power. We're seeing how much suffering people are enduring due to poverty, joblessness, and lack of adequate health care. And we're seeing that those who are hardest hit because they are being made vulnerable by our social system. The only thing that will heal us and restore justice in this land is our compassion, our action, and our greatest visions for social change. As Ella Baker said, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes." I sincerely hope you will join Keep Prescott Together by donating to us today. Solidarity, thank you.